All right, with this WASH 2 Facebook Live update, I'm Chief Meteorologist Tony Manalfi. We just got the brand new 8 o'clock intermediate advisory on Ian. Let me go ahead and kind of switch this on over for everybody so you can see what's going on. The pressure has dropped another 7 millibars from the 5 o'clock advisory, now down to 965 millibars. Not yet reflected in the winds, but I suspect that coming up tonight, we may be very close to Cat 3 hurricane with winds of 115 miles an hour based on that pressure drop. So a lot going on down there in the northwestern Caribbean, and it's feeding off some incredibly warm waters there and allowing for this thing to blow on up. Now, when you look at the structure here, again, it looked like earlier there may have been a little bit of dry air on that west-northwest side, but now it's totally wrapping around. And again, a sign that this thing just wants to really considerably deepen, and that's one of the things that we're going to watch. A lot of you were asking about the county-by-county graphics. I am going to get to every county that we broadcast to here in just a couple minutes. I just want to kind of go through what we're seeing right now. There's the forecast cone, and as you can see, approaching the west coast of Florida on Tuesday afternoon as a Category 4, then weakening somewhat there as we move ahead here on into Thursday afternoon. Again, a front is up to the north. That's going to sag to the south. The combination of some upper-level winds, strong, ripping some of the circulation apart, and drier air at the same time should work to help weaken this feature. That's what the forecast models are telling us as of right now. Now, as far as the advisories are concerned, yellow, tropical storm watches. The pinkish color there is the hurricane watch. That is for Sumter County. And then down in Polk County in the blue, tropical storm warnings are in effect as of right now. Take a look at the storm surge advisories. Why the watches up there in Palatka, up towards St. John's, up towards Flagler County? Well, there are some of the models that actually want to move more towards the east. And so the thinking is, as that low cranks up and potentially moves a little bit closer to the I-4 corridor, we may get that wind backing in onto the northeast on the backside of the storm system. That could create some surge issues. That's one of the things we're going to have to watch. Anybody up in Flagler County knows full well the issues we've had with erosion there along one up there, so we'll continue to monitor that. Storm surge potentially there. Tampa, 8 to 11 feet. This is again as of the 5 o'clock advisory, a little bit lower down to the south. Now, I want to show you the satellite perspective here. Very impressive looking storm system, and wide as well, I might add, almost 500 miles wide. And because it is so large, it is already bringing in the circulation, some of those feeder bands. And if you look real closely, I'm going to zoom it in into this band right there. That is producing some gusty winds, some squalls right now of 30 to 40 miles an hour. There was even some weak rotation with a few of those storms as we were looking at that just about a half an hour ago from the West 2 Weather Center. So something else that we're going to continue to watch. Now, the models. A lot of you were asking about the models. Let me get this real quickly, and then I'm going to jump to some of the forecast data here and county-by-county stuff, because I know that's why you guys are tuning on in. Look at Orlando, HMON, CTCI, Cody, again, right over the I-4 corridor. A few models hugging the west coast. So bottom line, the trend today has the center point of that cone inching more towards the east, and that's one of the things we're going to have to watch very diligently, especially when you look at intensity forecasts that range from a Cat 2 to a Cat 4 Wednesday afternoon. So a lot to watch, a lot to soak in. I want to show you 3 separate models here. The first one is an eye grabber. This is our Futurecast model, our graph model, IBM 4-kilometer resolution. You can see the banding there, which, by the way, is lining up fairly well. We'll go to 5 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning. Look at those bands. Once again, coming through the Keys. We get to about noon on Tuesday. Rain bands beginning to push into the southern reaches of our viewing area, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. The outer bands coming as far north as the metro areas, lifting on up towards Flagler and Volusia and Marion counties. But the real concern gets going here as we get you on the Wednesday. Look at these bands setting on up. Wave after wave after wave. That track there right underneath that center point. But then look what happens as we get you into Wednesday night and Thursday. That forecast begins to make that turn more towards the right. And that's one of the things that has us thinking, is this going to be another turn to the right like Charlie? Now, Charlie was a lot different than it. It was a missile. It was in and out in no time. This is anything but a missile. This is slow, creepy crawler, turtle-esque, and it's going to produce a lot of rain. This is the GFS solution. A little bit different, but plenty of impacts for us here in Central Florida. Look at Tampa. Look at that track. Hugging the coast there. Heavy bands through the interior. And then marching up towards Marion County there as we get you into Thursday evening. So again, a lot to watch there. Here's a peek now. There's the European forecast. You can see right there, right into the Tampa Bay area. Very close to the Hurricane Center's official forecast center point. So a lot of things to watch there. You know, the front right quadrant, we've mentioned this a million times, that's where your greatest risk for tornadoes occur. With tropical systems, we're not talking about the high plains EF, 4s or 5s. Usually they're low-end EF 0s, 1s, and an occasional F2. And they're very often rain wrapped because there's so much moisture in these that you can't see it. Let's go to the rainfall forecast. 3 separate models. There's the Euro through Friday. Palm Coast, 15 inches of rain. Ocala, 7 inches of rain. Here's the GFS. Again, Palm Coast, 5 inches of rain. Ocala, 8 inches of rain. Big chunk of rain here. Here's a look at our graph model. Check this out. Going gangbusters. Widespread, 10 plus inches of rain in many areas. I think that's a little bit overdone, but the bottom line is that there's going to be some significant rainfall. Winds. Look at the Euro. This is unbelievable. 40, 45. Euro's a little bit slower, and then it rides northward on Friday with, tropical storm gusts almost area-wide. GFS. Let's do that. Let me show the GFS. See the GFS. Wednesday evening, tropical storm force winds. Look at that, 53 Wildwood, 50s in Ocala. Good chunk of Central Florida under some high winds. And then finally lifting northward as we got you on into the day Saturday. So many things to watch. Watching that flood risk. Next 2 days. Tuesday, possible flooding across the southern reaches of our area. Likely flooding now area-wide as we get you on into Wednesday. Real quickly here, here's a look at the arrival times for the main system, not the feeder, though, the outer bands that come out ahead of it. This is the main core of the winds. Wednesday morning, Polk County Southwest, Orlando Stewart, Wednesday evening, then Thursday morning, up towards the north. Let me do one other thing here real quick. All right, I'm going to get some county by counties in for everybody here now. Let me pop a few of these up. Just bear with me. I'm going to pop in some county by county forecast. I know these are big fan favorites here. Here you go. So we're going to work Marion County. There you have it. As of right now, based on what we're seeing, first outer band arrives Tuesday, 10 o'clock. Storm system leaves 10 p.m.-ish Friday evening. This is slow moving. Rosalind getting there for sure. Katie, you're welcome. Max winds 40 to 60 miles sustained, gusts 60 to 80. We work our way into Sumter County where there's hurricane watches up there as well. 35 to 55, gusts 55 to 75. 4 to 8 inches of rain there. And then as we work our way on into Lake County, you can see 45 to 65 gusts, tropical storm force gusts, sustained, close to tropical storm force. Tropical storm watches are indeed up. And then for Flagler County, Flagler's interesting. Sometimes when you get a system coming in, you got a front backing on in, you can get some pretty significant wind. And that's one of the things that we're going to be watching here as we go through the next 24 to 48 hours right before landfall. Here's a look now. Ian for Volusia. Max winds sustained 30 to 40, gusts 40 to 50. Rainfall 4 to 7 inches of rain. You're under a tropical storm watch, watching that severe weather risk. We'll get to Orange County here in a second. We'll get them all. We're going to get Osceola and Kissimmee here too. Hold on. There's Brevard. Max winds 30 to 40 miles an hour. Gust 40 to 50 for Brevard County. Rainfall, southern areas 2 to 5, but up north could be a little bit higher. And by the way, just so everybody knows that I have posted this on my Facebook page. For those of you that need that information, just scroll through there and you'll see your county. Kissimmee's coming up here. Hold on a second. Sumter County. Robin, we just did you. We'll do it again, though. Seminole County, max winds 30 to 40 sustained. Gust, though, will be in that 40 to 50 mile an hour range. Rainfall potential here could be 4 to 6 inches of rain. All right, Orange County. A lot of folks wondering about that. You can see 9 p.m. Tuesday. Might get that first large outer range feeder band coming on in. The core, though, we're working on Wednesday and Thursday. Could see some gust here to 40 to 50. Max winds running 30 to 40. We are under a tropical storm watch, and we'll be evaluating that severe weather risk going forward. All right. Last but not least, here's a look now at Osceola County. Tuesday 8 p.m., Friday 8 p.m. Max winds 30 to 40 miles an hour. Max gust here as well, running about 40 to 50 miles an hour. Rainfall potential 2 to 4, 2 to 5 inches. Should about do it. And that's pretty much. Polk County would be, if somebody was asking about Polk, would be a little bit higher, closer to the storm. I would put sustained winds probably at 35 to 50 and gust 50 to almost 75 miles an hour. I wouldn't be surprised they upgrade that tropical storm warning to a hurricane warning based on some of the computer model tracks and trends that are coming on in. So that's kind of what we're looking at for now. Again, few models edging back towards the east today. One more time, here's the latest models. You can see right there, there's your cone. Still 2 camps, but today the majority of them edging back towards the eastern side of that NHC forecast cone. Now, I don't want to leave you on a downer note, so what I'm going to do is show you that 7-day forecast here. I know a lot of you probably have plans for the upcoming weekend. Let's give you some good news here. We have first warning weather days in the red there on Wednesday and Thursday as we're tracking the tropics. There is the potential that we may have to drag that back towards the east. 70% chance for showers and storms on Friday. Is that the graph?
That is the graph.
Let me show the graph. Hang on, for Polk County, I want to pop this in here for folks here. Give me 1 second. Thanks, Alex. Let me just pop that. Just give me 1 second. He just saved it. I'm going to just drop this in here. There's the graph. So the graph is coming a little bit stronger with the winds. Remember, that's the model that is beginning to turn along the I-4 corridor. So let's see what we get here. There's the winds creeping up. Wednesday afternoon, tropical storm force in our western counties. Wednesday evening, expanding east-northeastward. Look at Winter Haven there, gusts 65, Wildwood 70, Winter Haven 78. There's that little eye center point. This model only goes out so far, so I'd be willing to bet that data might be a little underdone there for Thursday morning. But the bottom line is this: it's hitting at what appears to be some reasonable winds on a track that's like that. So again, a lot to watch. We will be updating those county by counties for you on Facebook, on Twitter. We'll be doing these Facebook Lives as we get new data. Obviously, I can't answer every question, so I do apologize for that. But that's it for now. That's what we've got. 9 o'clock, 9:30 here. We'll start to get some of the evening computer model runs in to see if there's any more consolidation over the peninsula as opposed to the west coast. We'll have that for you tonight at 10 and again at 11. You guys are a great group. Don't forget, sharing is caring. That's my motto. The more people we can reach by you guys sharing these Facebook Lives, the more people we can put in the weather know. Stay safe and make sure to complete those hurricane preparations tomorrow, no later than early afternoon, and have those hurricane kits ready to go. All right, guys. See you tonight.